Hello, Business Squad. Hope you're doing amazingly well. It is Coach Heather here today, and we are going to talk about AI and the impact that is having on social media and what you should do about it, how you should be responding in regards to your posts and what you're posting and where you're posting. Cool? Very good topic to talk about. AI and the impact it is having on the algorithm on social media. It is something you need to know about if you are using social media to grow your business, or if you want to use social media to grow your business. And of course you're using social media to grow your business. Okay, one thing I want you to think about is the fact that social media used to be social media, right? Now it is more info media. Have you noticed that? So think back to when you first got on Facebook. I'm just going to use that one because that was the Facebook, if you're kind of my age, the Facebook, and we all joined the Facebook. And this will kind of date me. I remember when I got on there, and all of a sudden I was on there, and who did I run into on social media? I ran into all my classmates that I had graduated with many years ago, and we got to reconnect, and we started a group of all of us people that went to high school together on social media, and we were friends and we liked each other, and then maybe a few college people came in there, right? Because I was well out of college by the time the Facebook came out, and it was social media, and you would keep up with family and friends and what was going on in their life and how things were. Then it's changed a lot over time, right? Because the algorithm back then, when it first started, social media and all platforms kind of mirrored each other. The platforms would be based on who you liked and who you followed. Following was a huge thing, or being friends, depending on what platform you were on, huge thing. And you would just see your friends' stuff. And I remember the other day I had a friend of mine say, like, didn't you see the picture of me and my kids? I said, I don't see any of my friends on social media anymore. Do you? I do not. I see ads, I see coaches, I see people that publish books, I see people that want to help people publish books because the algorithm ain't completely right. And so that is what I'm seeing. I don't see my family and friends anymore because we're not connected enough within the new algorithm for their stuff to pop up for me to see. And if you are using social media at all in your business, I'm guessing that, a matter of fact, I know that you are having the same experience if you are using it to the degree that you need to be using it for. So you're not seeing your friends anymore and your family, and unless they're seeking you out and looking for you, they're not seeing you either. Isn't that crazy? It has all changed. If you really take a minute to think back about what social media was like, it was like who you liked and who you followed, who you were friends with, and that's what popped up. Now, well, then after that, it kind of got more into hashtags, right? And so if you hashtag things, if you had words in your content, some people explain it as if it was the bubble that kind of looked outside at that point. So it could see your hashtags, it could see your words, but it really couldn't see your content. It couldn't read that. It wasn't smart enough to do that yet. That was kind of the next phase. So we were all using hashtags because I wanted somebody to look up coaching, and then they would type in coaching, and then it would pop up. And so it was at that level. Now it's at a whole new other level, completely different. And there is AI within the algorithm that can read everything. They can see everything. They can understand language. They can look at the content. They know all of it. And they tell me that that method, that AI method there, that little bot, we'll call it, I don't know, that's not what it's called, but I'm going to call it that. It is so smart. It's smarter than a person that speaks like our English language. It would be smarter than us because it can speak all languages, and it can even speak, like it can read it deeper than that. It's so crazy how intelligent that technology is that it can really get into exactly what you're saying and what you're sharing, and it will go seek out people that want to hear that and see that and know that and go to them. So it doesn't matter if you are friends, it doesn't matter if you have ever seen each other, talk to each other, have any interactions whatsoever. The algorithm through AI now listens, interprets, and sends it to the people that want to see it and hear it. Isn't that interesting? You just got to think about that a minute. And they say nowadays, a person really needs to see something you've created about 9 times before it even really sees it the first time. So you go through stuff so fast and the mind just kind of reads it and passes through it, and you won't really recognize anything or anybody until you've seen that person 9 times. So that is how much you need to be out there and be in front of those people that want your content. The interesting thing is the algorithm can figure it out and push it to them. So it's totally different. And that is why people used to have such big followings to go viral. And it was all about how many people are following you. It's hard to get away from it, guys. It is so hard for me to get away from that. But they say that isn't so important. It's more about what that content is and how it's going to be perceived out there by people. Now, this is what's important with this, and I'm going to jump around a little bit. It's really important that your content is relatable and not impressive. So content needs to be relatable. That is what people are going to click on. That's going to be what they're interested in. Impressive, slick, expensive, we'll call it that because it's true, expensive, call it what it is. That is not going to get you as far as simply relatable. That's why me, after a full long day of work, I was walking into my second office here this evening, and there's a wine walk outside. Somebody was walking by and they're like, "Long day, Heather?" I'm like, "Oh, they know me." "Yeah, long day." I'm like, "The normal day for me. I'm going to my second office, and I love being here, but I know I look rough," right? Like, this is relatable. You can, if you're listening to me, you can relate to the fact that, yeah, you probably put a full day in, and then you're so passionate about this, you're going to come and share and grow and help people because that's where you're at in life, and that's relatable to you. Relatable content is what we need, not impressive. So stop overthinking it. Stop feeling like you got to do all the filters and all the cutting and all the stuff. You don't. You absolutely just need to have it very relatable so that people know who you are. They can relate to you. Just share it all, right? It's all good. So very relatable over impressive. We don't need to go spend a lot of money on this stuff anymore. People want to know who you are, which brings me to the next, how are we going to pivot? How are we going to pivot with this? I want you to know that personal brands are outdoing business brands 20-1. Hey, Kendall, hello. Personal brands are outdoing business brands 20-1, 20 times better than a business brand. So if you have hesitated to use your personal brand and to go out and on your personal page and share things, I want you to rethink that. If you are trying to grow a business, you need to go all in on your personal brand. And you know why? People buy from people they relate to and that they know and that they trust. And the only way they're going to do that is if they get to know you. And you even look at some of the biggest companies, and when the founders show up and say who they are and what they do and how, what their mission is, what they're driven for, all of a sudden the business does better, right? Think of the biggest, KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. It was all about the Colonel, right? He was a real guy. And his story about how he went to take that chicken and get it sold everywhere, and finally somebody bought his chicken. It was about him. And so that has not changed. Today, it is still personal brand and who you are. So if you are hiding behind a business page on Facebook and wondering why you're not getting any traction, you will be hiding there until you drowned. You need to get out on your personal page. And remember what I told you, the algorithm is all different. If family and friends see it, it's because they want to see it, because they are engaged in it, because they're liking it. Otherwise, it's not going to go to Aunt Martha that lives in another state that you never see unless she's stalking you, and then that's on her, right? So it's not like it used to be. It's not a social media, family and friends. It's info media, and we are here to help educate and share and make people better. And so that is how the algorithm works. So go all in, personal brand. And I know you got to have it tied to your business, and we need our branding, and heaven knows I'm redoing mine right now. So we need to be tied to that, and we need to have it, but we got to share it on the personal side. We got to share it on the personal side. Okay. Relatable over impressive. That's the next thing on my list. I don't usually speak from notes, but I am tonight. So I didn't want to miss anything. I wanted to be really ready for you guys. You do not need to be an influencer. We are not shooting to be an influencer. And if you're like me, you know, my demographic, age, right? Like who I am, what's important to me, my values, like sprawling over a Ferrari or going and renting a yacht and taking videos is just not me. Like that's just not me. And back in the day, that's what people did because they just wanted enough likes and follows, right? Like that's what they wanted to drive the algorithm. We don't do that anymore. That's not like, don't go rent a yacht. I mean, go rent a yacht for fun, but don't feel like you have to go do it to grow your business because it's not really what's doing it anymore. What is doing it now is you want to show up as a leader in your industry. Show up as a leader in your industry. Start educating, start sharing, start motivating, start connecting. You can't get past the connection. And ladies, I'm talking to my ladies, we are good at connections. And that is what is going to grow your business. So no, ladies, we are in the right place at the right time because connection is key. DMs are hot, like getting in to know people. That is what's driving business growth on social media now. So don't think, oh, I want to be an influencer. Influencer is kind of out. Like, have you seen their stuff drop? What is in now is really being authentic and being a leader in your industry. What makes you different? How do you show up deeper, faster, more for the people that you help and serve? That's what we need to do. That's what we want. We want to be at the table in the rooms when things are changing, moving and shaking in your industry, whatever that happens to be. Okay, next. Some of you are sitting here thinking, Heather, this is great. This is great. I want to be on social media. I want to have a business. I maybe tried it. How do I decide who I help? How do I find out what business do I do? Like, how do I even think about that? And I've shared lots of different ways, and I actually think this is my favorite. This is what I would do. Block off 30 minutes to an hour. Sit down with your favorite beverage, whatever it is, I don't care, and map out your life. Ooh, map it out beginning to end and just draw it. Highs and lows, highs and lows. What'd you learn? Did you have, like I always talk about when I was fresh out of undergrad, I helped close a state institution. And I'm like, that was one of the most amazing times in my life. And like, it just transformed me, right? Like, and so that would make my map because I can just remember how incredible that was to take people out of a state institution that never left their rooms and didn't even own their own socks and sure didn't have shoes. And sometimes they didn't even have wheelchairs. They were just in their beds all the time. And they came to houses in the community with just a couple other people, right? And so it was a lot of work and I was crazy, but it like got to my soul of who I am, right? And so that was like an up in my life, right? Like that was super cool to be able to do that. The flip side of that is I remember how tired I was about, even at that age, like just wore me out. So, but do that. Spend some time like reminiscing a little bit. What were the highs? What were the lows? What's the garbage that you went through? And when you look at that, I want you to think about, when did you have transformation? What were the things that you're like, this is a time of transformation. This is a time of change. And what happened during that time and how did you transform? Because we know if we help people during times of transition and transformation, that we will we'll be able to connect with them. Because when people are going through those transitions and they're needing to have change, that's when they're going to seek out help. If you're high CEO and you're killing it, you're probably not looking for a lot of help. But if you are sitting in the C-suites and you've been there for a long time and nobody's paying any attention to you and other people are getting promoted and you're not, you're going to be looking for help. You're going to want to know what to do. You're going to be hiring people to help you get out of that. If you're fit, you're fantastic, like you got the 6-pack, 8-pack abs, right? You're not hiring a diet coach. If you've tried everything and you still feel sick and you can't stop eating sugar and you are obese, you're going to be looking for someone to help you. Maybe menopause, right? Time of transition and transformation, whether you want it or not. People are looking for people to help them get through that. What's going on? I don't know what's going on with me. So those are the things in life. I want you to look at what have you gone through that you can now help other people get through. And so two things, right? I love coaching people to start their own businesses. I worked for another coach for 4 or 5 years. And she was one of those high-end coaches. Her program was $28,000 a year. She spent up to $40,000 on Facebook ads in order to grow her business. $40,000 on Facebook ads like every 6 weeks. Like it was like one workshop. And I got to learn all of that. And I trained her entry level for her clients. And so there'd be people that said, I can't do the 28, they'd do less. I was the one that would train them and help them. So that was fantastic, all that I learned from that. Look at how I learned that. And then from there I went and I started my own business, my own coaching business. And now I have my own way of helping people. And I took some of that and I took some other things I learned along the way and now I help, right? That was a transition. I went into building my own business. And I can help other people now build their own coaching businesses, and that's exactly what I do. I took all that I learned. Maybe it was, going through a divorce. Maybe it was losing weight. When you look at that map of your life, whatever sticks out to you, there's probably something in there that you are called to do to help people. And I told you there was 2. The second one is writing books. I published my first book. My financial advisory practice skyrocketed. It went nuts after that book, which is cool. But what was even cooler was I got a speaking agent who I still have who gets me really lucrative speaking opportunities on stages. Like he just gets them for me and I show up and speak, right? And so that was like amazing, right? And so that book, writing that book got me speaking engagements, skyrocketed my career. My business that I had at that time, which is financial advisory, I can help people that maybe want to make more money. They're like, I'm ready to level up. I want to transform and make more money. They're not where they want to be. They're settled in, settled out. I can help them with that. That's another thing I help people with. So think about in your life what you've went through. It might be something personal, emotional, or it might just be a business thing. Figure out what those are, and that is most likely something you can help people with. I don't want you to think that you need to be way ahead and know it all. I don't want you to think you need to be way out there, know everything, have it all figured out, have it all be perfect. All you need to do is turn around and help that person behind you. Where were you a year ago? Where were you even 6 months ago? What have you went through that you can pull them up to you easier, faster, so they can get through whatever you went through with less pain? That's what we want to do. We want to help people get where we ended up today with less pain and get there faster. Sound good? That's what we're called to do. That's the paths God gives us. That is exactly what we are called to do. So that, hopefully, give yourself some time. Sit down and map out your life. Look at what those, when you went through transition, transformation, and then figure that out. And look at that and say, is there something in here I am called to help people with? And you can turn it into a business. And I can help you create the offer. Let me know. I'm very passionate about that. There's all sorts of options with that once we get to what we're going to do, who we're going to help, and what we're called to do. Now, I'm going to circle back. So we've got some good ideas of what we're going to do. What content should we be putting out? This is my last part of this live here today. Knowing the algorithm has changed, is reading everything differently. It's going deeper. It's not paying attention to family and friends. What should we be posting and how much and where and what does that look like? It hasn't changed much, folks, but I want you to think about this. Short, like reels are still hot. Shorts, they're interesting, they're quick, pain points are good, things that people relate to, like 1 of 5 kind of deal. The other thing is, now that the algorithm is smarter, it is looking deeper. So it used to be, yeah, we could have a cute quote and everybody would like it and that would help us drive business. Honestly, now you really need to have more deeper things. So like the list, here's 5 ways to save money on vacation. I'm making that up. Here's 5 ways to grow your business. Here's the 7 mistakes people make when they self-publish their books. Things like that are going to drive that algorithm higher. So even if you have a series of reels and say reel number 1, 1 of 7 on how to self-publish your book, 2 of 7 on how to self-publish your book. Or if you see those flip things now that are hot where you say 1 of 7 and then you got to flip through, those are super hot. So all of that short content, that is number 1. Number 2, so short content every day. Every day. That's what they tell me, every day. Somebody compared it to, like, somebody said every day, yep. They said, well, like they had a weight loss coach and the weight loss coach said, go to the gym every day. They're like, every day, even Saturday, yeah, every day. So we really should be doing short content every day. Number 2, long content. And they're saying anything over 6 minutes. 6 minutes to an hour is long content. When you're doing your long content, I want you to teach. I want you to share. I want your people to have transformation. I want them to learn something from you. When they're listening, that is what we need to have happen. I want you to realize people don't know what you think they know. You gotta break it down. You gotta make it simple. You gotta tell them some stuff you think they already know because they probably don't or they've already forgotten it. Don't make it too complicated. Make it super, super simple, because what you are called to help and serve with, you know really, 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 really well. You're an expert at it. They're a beginner. So things that seem super simple for you are going to be life-changing for them. And so think about that. Keep it really, really simple, but really go into it and explain what they need to know. So a long content, 6 minutes to an hour. The third one, which we don't always talk about, is a lead form. So a lead form is going to gather information. It's either going to say, yeah, sign me up for the workshop, send me the freebie and I'll give you my email so you can drip on me. I'll give credit where credit is due. A lot of this content that I'm sharing today, I was researching and I came across Daniel Presley. I want to say his name correctly, Daniel Presley. He has got a scorecard, which is a lead magnet. He calls it a landing page on steroids. It's like you can create surveys in there. I've used it before. I love it. I'll get a plug-in for him, scorecard. It's very cost effective. It's a great way to get something out there to gather leads. So if you're struggling to get leads and have a lead magnet, his scorecard is super fun. A lot of AI in it, a lot of like knowledge behind it. Like it's been put together really well, made it really easy to use. They used to have a free trial on it. I should be giving you a link to get some money off this, but not. Just go to scorecard. And then if you ever run into Daniel Presley, tell him you met me, right? Like I suggested him. So no, but really. Anyways, he talks about getting leads as your third thing, and he's absolutely right. And he's also done a ton of this research that I'm sharing in regards to AI and the algorithm. And so think about that. Now, that's what I have. What am I going to land with here? AI is changing things. We got to go all in. You know that you are called to help and serve people. A lot of us, if you're out there listening to me, like this is the next season of our life. We are leveling up. We are going all in. It's exciting times. There is nothing in your way. If you think there are things in your way, you're wrong. It's in your head, and it's time to go all in. So like and follow me. If you are in the 1010 Impact Club, you know we have our exclusive Zoom call next. We're going to work through all of these things. If you are not in the 1010 Impact Club yet, you're going to want to join. Click on the link and we'll get you in there next week. It's amazing. All right, it was super fun to hang with you guys. Have a great evening. And 1010 Impact Club members, I'm going to see you on Zoom.